Then let's go into EKET. EKET again is a table that tells me some more details about an order. This is called schedule line agreements. So it's whenever you order something, it doesn't get delivered in a single go, right? So let's say I'm ordering something from you. So you are a vendor name as ABC. So that order gets delivered in subsequent deliveries. So each delivery has an agreement between me and you. So this agreement is stored in a table called as schedule line agreements. So before joining this, let me show you what schedule line agreement has, all the fields in that table. So there are a couple of other fields, but these are the ones that we are interested in. So this is your PO and the number, that's straightforward. This is your delivery date, and this tells me how much quantity has been ordered. So with this, I can actually figure out if a PO is closed or whatever that I ordered that gets delivered or not. So these sorts of details I can get from EKET. This is also a pretty important table. So let's join this on ekpo.ebeln is equals to ekpo.ebelp. I'm sorry, should be ekep.ebeln and ekpo.ebelp is equals to ekep.ebelp. Let's take some fields from EKET. So that will be EINDT, and that's your delivery date. Then we have EKET.menge, and that is your delivered quantity rather than what we agreed on. Not important for us, but with menge, this is my delivered quantity, or rather it should be scheduled quantity. That's what I ordered, and then I guess WEMNG is what that's get delivered. So if I minus WEMNG from menge, or rather menge from WEMNG, then I will have the quantity that's missing. So let's just go ahead and do that as well. So let me put this delivered quantity and scheduled quantity minus this is the missing quantity. Yep. Now this is fine. Let's run this. Okay, so I have everything that's get delivered. So what I will say is this PO is closed as of now. Then let's go ahead and join this table with RBKP. So if we can check, then RBKP is my invoice header table. If you think we already have the invoice document number, so wherever this comes as IRN document, then probably this is your invoice number. But we have some other details in RBKP that are pretty important for us. So we'll go on and check those. So let me put it as join RBKP BELNR on, oh I'm sorry, join RBKP on RBKP.BELNR is equals to RBKP.BELNR. And RBKBE dot PEWTP is equals to Q. Since we only want to join the IRN document. So now we have removed all the values that pertain to a GRN document. So this time we only have the invoices. We can always go on and do, let's say, a left join on this, so that we even have our, the GRN as well as the IRN document, both of them. So let's keep it as a left join only. So that's not a problem. What I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to select the invoices from RBKP. We have all these details in RBKP. Now let's go on and put some details from RBKP as well. So what I will do is I will get my GGAHR, which is nothing but the year of invoice. Since this invoice can be opened in multiple periods, as in this could be starting from 2020, and even in 2021 this is open. Might be possible in 2022 also this invoice might be open. So that's why we always use year in an invoice. Even the good practice is to use it for the GRN also, but generally a GRN document cannot be open for that much period. Usually it will be open for a quarter. That's most to most. And then let's see if we have payment days here. So let's do one more thing and take RBKP dot ZBD1T as invoice paydays. We will create a separate video for payment terms and how to track them. Yeah, so we have year of invoice and the payment days. If you see wherever we have the GRN document, it comes as null. That is fine by us, not a problem. Then what we are going to do is, now this part is a little bit tricky. We have a table called as BKPF. So in BKPF, we have all the accounting documents. Now that's irrespective of whatever process you are running inside SAP. If there is an accounting entry created, it will sit into BKPF. So this BELNAR is not exactly your invoice number or a GRN number. This is an accounting document or an accounting entry that gets created when you post an invoice. So now how should I join this with an invoice table? So here we have something called as AW key. If you see, AW key has a pattern. Now this pattern is, let me just do one thing. Let's just select only AW key. So if we try to break this AW key, then it actually joins based on the invoice number and the year. So what I'm trying to say is, let me put it here. Again, I will do a left join because I don't want to lose my GRN documents. So BKPF on AWQ is equals to RBKP dot BELNR plus RBKP dot GGAHR. So I have the invoice number preceding the year. That is how I will get the document number or the accounting document number. So BKPF dot BELNR, as the accounting document. Let me take the AW key as well, just to show you, as linkage. Let's just put it as linkage. Let me run this now. Yep. Okay, so the linkage is null. So probably let me cast this to string. In string I mean varchar. Yeah. So here we have the accounting document numbers. So let me summarize again because we have done quite a lot of things. So we started from a vendor number, got the company code, got the name for that vendor, moved into the requisition for it, got the requisitioner for that particular purchase requisition. Then we got the PO number from the EKPO table, which got raised or got posted against a purchase requisition number. Then I got some other details for PO, such as the payment terms that existed on that order. And then after that, we have the order, what all the line items that belong to that particular purchase order number, what materials belong to that particular line item number, what was the quantity for that, what was the value for that, and then we got what happened against that order. So by that, what I'm trying to say is, for this particular EBLP or the line item number, I got one invoice. I got one GRN number, one invoice document, which was raised for this particular amount and this particular value. After that, I got into EKET and checked like what was the delivered date for that, what was the total quantity, how much got delivered, if there is anything missing or not, just to check like if the PO is open still. Then I went into RBKP, got the invoice details such as the year, what was the pay terms on the invoice, what was the accounting document against that, and probably the linkage for that. This is important. Now once I have the accounting document number, then what I can do is, let me just go to one more table, and I promise this will be the final one. Left join on BSAK on BKPF.BELNR. This is my accounting number, and BSAK.BELNR. So let me quickly show you what BSAK has actually. So in BSAK I have something called as AUGDT. This is my clearing date, and that means that's when the payment happened, at least inside SAP, and that's how it will be in ground also. And this is the clearing document that's got created once you cleared a particular accounting document or an invoice indirectly. This tells me if it's a debit or a credit. H probably means credit, I think, and S means a debit. And then we have the value of the payment, the posting key. This again tells me as to what kind of business occurred, like if it's a reversal or if it's a direct payment, if it's a down payment. So these sorts of things I can get from this particular posting key field. Then the payment terms again. I think this flows from the invoice directly. The GL account number. So all these details I can get from BSAK, the vendor. So if you see, it's always good to give the vendor as well. So again, when we check the data, we found something that we should join upon. So that, and this is a pretty good habit, irrespective of whatever ERP you're working on. Always remember that. So yeah, that's the data yogi's advice for you. Let me remove this. Let's take BSAK.AUGDT as clearing date, BSAK.AUGBL as clearing document. Just give it a short form, and then let's give it as BSAK dot DMVTR as the payment value. Yep. And yeah, so yes, this will work. Let me just run this. Invalid column name LIFNR. Okay. So we should do BSAK dot LIFNR. Now we should run it. Yeah. So if we see, we have a payment value of 7314, but our total value of an invoice is showing 380. So probably there is some discrepancy in terms of there might be some taxes, delivery cost, and these things they come directly on an invoice. So what we can do is there's a field called as RBKP. Inside RBKP there's a field called as RMWWR. Yeah, so this gives me a total true value of an invoice. So it's a total invoice value, and this. Now let's run this. So if we see here, then we have 7314, and this is the payment value. So that's how it's going to match. So now we are okay with the payment and the invoice. There's one more table called as BSIK. Now this table has the partial clearings and the open documents. So what it means is that, let's say I have raised an invoice, but I have not cleared it yet. So those kind of accounting entries or the documents, which we generally call in terms of SAP Finance, we call them as open documents or open items. So they will sit in BSIK. Again, in joining BSIK, it's exactly how I join BSAK. So I'm doing a left join here because if I do a direct join, then I might lose on all the data. Let me just show you this. BSIK table, we can again do a, see if we join it directly, so and the joining fields are exactly as BSAK. It's the exact same table. It's just that it is used for a different purpose. Most of the columns are replicated in BSAK and BSIK. So if I join it in this way, then you will see there are only 3, because probably this might be partially cleared, or maybe it might have existed before. So these sorts of entries I can get in BSIK. Probably they might be totally open. So the important thing is, again, we have to join it with a left join so that I don't lose on the data. Yeah. And there are lots of other tables such as v underscore username, which we can join with AF name, let's say, or there is a field called as created by, and that exists in lot of different tables. So this gives us the description for those names. And it's a vast ocean. You can do lots of things with it. I will post this query as well in my GitHub account so that you can directly run this along with the dummy data. So yeah, it's a pretty big video, but yeah, this was important because before doing anything we need to understand the data, and that's how we understood. So yeah, if you are able to get almost like 80% of this thing and you are here till the end of the video, then I think we did a pretty good job. So yeah, see you in the next video. Goodbye, and remember to subscribe and like Data Yogi so I can go on and create